Hi everyone, I would like to present to you a paper written by me, Leandro Gomes Ferreira, and Professor Matilde Souza, both from Pontifícia Universidade Católica de Minas Gerais. The paper is entitled The Formation of the Regional Energy Security Complex by Energiewende in the European Union, originally in Portuguese, a formação do Complexo Regional de Segurança energética pela Energiewende na União Europeia. The paper was published on Meridiano 47, the Journal of Global Studies. We acknowledge also the support given by our funding agencies, CAPS, on the development of this research and publication of this paper. So, the paper is structured in the following idea with the research question: how does Energiewende converge the EU into an energy security complex? So we based our analysis on the regional security complex theory, considering energy as a sector of analysis or as a study sector, which deals with the trade-off between energy security and climate change. So we recognize that energy nowadays is vital for the work and to make everybody's life and economy and politics and society to happen. And we also understand that is important for countries to find out more sustainable or renewable energy ways to provide energy for their society. So we understand also there's the trade-off between energy security and climate change, because to address more energy efficiency or to address more energy security, it will be necessary to turn energy into a more accessible source, which means produce more and give access to everybody else. But unfortunately, due to the threats of climate change, we see an environmental problem, and it's necessary to not only produce more, it's necessary to produce in renewable and sustainable ways, understanding that the emissions during the production and during the use of energy are detrimental for the environment and can cause an even worse situation of climate change for the future generations. So basically we start with this idea that it's necessary to have a cluster inside EU, and this cluster is around the problem of energy, and the energy is almost a traditional or foundational problem from the European Union. So basically we understand this, and we have some patterns of relationship. We have two patterns of relationship basically. One is an amity, which basically when you see your surrounded countries or your surrounded neighbors as your enemies, this creates a situation of dependency where you need to import energy from them to keep you alive as you as a state, or as another pattern of relationship, also known as amity, when you see the surrounded countries around you as your friends, not as your enemies, and you develop somehow an interdependence situation between them, with the trade of energy supply. It could be resources or it could be the energy manufactured, no problem. So in this situation, we see that it's very important to put the situation and understand the situation into the European Union. So we found out also that the Energiewende is a policy started during the 70s, from the last century, that grows through time, but it's not possible to say but less attention was paid to Energiewende until 2011 after Fukushima Daiichi accident. So it made Germany to understand that was necessary to provide a new energy policy for the country. This energy policy is supported by important pillars. You have precisely 4 pillars. The first one would be the reduction of the emissions, which is basically considering 1990s. It's a progression, it's the progressive reduction of the emissions of GHG. The second part was the nuclear phase out that also happened in 2011, and it goes until now, and the objective is until 2025 or 2020, which is right now, or 2022, it will be already done. What will be the shutdown of the nuclear power plants. Also, it's important to notice the third pillar, that is the increase of the renewable energies in the the final consumption, in the production of energy via renewable energies, and it goes in a progressive way also until 2050. Also, a fourth pillar will be the increase of the energy efficiency, which is basically energy efficiency turn the economy more efficient in terms of reduce the amount of energy that it's necessary to generate more GDP or to produce, deliver more services, deliver more money, or deliver more development and growth to the society using less and less energy. This is more than necessary because countries sees nowadays with a problem of the lack of the access of energy, which is very detrimental for them. And we understand in our analyses that first there was a communication of Energiewende. So Energiewende in 2011 was communicated by Germany to their neighborhoods, which made Energiewende being known by their neighborhoods, and also generate some influences on their surrounding countries' policies regarding Energiewende. And this was very important to make a communication about this common threat that is inside this cluster of energy security complex, which is an energy security complex, is a cluster with common threats. So after this communication, Energiewende started to be a more spread idea inside EU, but originally it was it was driven by Germany, because Germany gave this first step in order to deliver more policies, more renewable energy policies for the society. And this turns itself into a very interesting policy because it follows the interests of the European Union first, yes, because it addressed a reduction of the fossil fuels dependency from, for example, Russian in Ukraine, and also increase the generation of renewable energies and the increase of energy efficiency. So it can be said that also it answers to the common policies 2020 from the EU, and also from the Energy Union, which is also another policy from the EU that address more efficiencies, more efficient policies for energy. And this is the first part. But the second part will be another effect of this situation, is that when Germany understands that it's necessary to produce energy via renewable ways, it turns itself into a major exporter of renewable energies inside European Union. So basically you have Germany surrounded by at least 9 countries, member states of the European Union, and basically you can create grids between them to export this electricity to their neighborhoods, which make possible to give a high amount of exportations, because also being more efficient as part of the policy, it also reduced the consumption of energy through time. So it's possible to see a high production of energy via renewable means, and also a reduction on the consumption, which gives energy opportunity to export more. Basically, this is very interesting to understand because the European Union, since the very beginning, avoided at some costs the securitization of a problem, which would be a break of normal rules that can rule a certain situation. So it avoids the whole time and getting Energiewende as a policy and to put inside the idea of institution, inside the idea of the European Union, it's mandatory to avoid securitization and to avoid further problems with energy or further problems that could develop more security situations or security problems of a war or a conflict somehow. And another important part is that Germany put itself into a good position, being an exporter of energy and a major exporter of renewable energy. This highlights the concerns of Germany regarding climate change for the next years, and also the problem of the energy, which is a central discussion inside climate change for the future generations. So basically, this is our paper, is available on Meridiano 47. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy.